Friday, August 21st, 2026, down in West Sussex, about to undertake a 6.5 miler, short one today, from Haywards Heath here to Balcombe. 7 weeks since my last walk, for various reasons, including medical. I've had to ease off the walking for a little bit, and also restart the distances again. So I've got a short one today. I also want to check out Ardingly Reservoir, see if there's anything left of it, because obviously over the last 7 weeks we've had like World War III going on in this country. Certainly reminds me of the War of the Worlds down in the Surrey Heathlands when that caught fire. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'll get onto that no doubt during the course of the walk, which is SWC, Saturday Walkers Club Walk 198. It's quite a dated walk. Yeah, so as I was saying before I was disturbed, it's quite a dated text, but I'll be using the GPX for the most part. Got a decent day today. Obviously temperatures have quietened down a bit. It's around 21 at the moment, so almost ideal walking conditions. No rain forecast, so let's crack on and see what awaits. 30, so a couple of hours walking time I should imagine. Wouldn't imagine this Waitrose was here when the text was written back in 2013. So just by the Borough Alarms there, at this roundabout, take a left, head north. Been walking parallel to the railway line, which is Balcombe Road going through it there. We take a right here, continue straight ahead over there. So at the end of Wickham Way, do a right here, next as shown by that finger post. Hopefully now getting into the countryside after a pretty mundane residential section. Yeah, now getting into a nicely wooded part, typical of the Weald. Very sad sight. More new houses on the edge of Balcombe here, Haywards Heath here. Matchboxes again. Completely out of character with the area. Still some water in this watercourse, but way below where it should be, I'm sure. Particularly with these new houses being built. First golf course of the day. Fair few out on the course today, despite the parched conditions. Greens have been obviously well maintained, no hosepipe ban there, but as you can see the guy doing the sand there, very dry and parched. We have had showers in the last few days up my way, but it doesn't look like we've had any down here. I'm intrigued as to how low Ardingly Reservoir will be, because I was down there, what, May time I think it was. So at this 14th tee indicator, we take a left into the woods at that finger post ahead. Now joining the Sussex Diamond Way. This is Sugworth Wood per the map, and I was rather hoping there'd be a bit more bird song now as we approach the end of August. They've molted, certainly my way, and are back in full plumage, so they certainly should be about. Pleasantly cool in here as well, so a good one for the hot days that we've just had probably. These trees don't look too stressed following the drought. But in any case, I suspect September, if 76 was anything to go by, is going to be absolutely dire. Certainly was in 76. Didn't stop raining for weeks. Started early September and didn't end for weeks. And I suspect we're going to get something similar. So these paths, per the notes that I've read, are generally okay most of the year. Let's see. In places where you'd normally have lying water, i.e. here on my left, bone dry. But it will recover, no doubt. I wasn't expecting to encounter cattle today either, because obviously there's nothing for them to eat. Grass is bone dry and farmers are having to feed them winter feed. But hey ho. So I'm on the Sussex Ouse Valley Way at the moment and the High Weald Landscape Trail, having left the Sussex Diamond Way. Yeah, as I suspected, they got interested. Young bullocks. Farmer over there cutting the hedge at a completely wrong time of year as usual. As you well know now from my commentaries, should be done around January, February, when there's no birds, berries or anything else on it. I don't know why they do it at this time of year, ripping off all the berries that the birds need. It's just because it suits them, I guess, after the harvest. Here they come. Luckily I'm on the other side of the gate. So that was Rivers Farm I've just passed. As we walk over a single track railway, which I believe is commercial, serving some works at Ardingly, I'm not sure, or nearby. Now in Rivers Wood. Lovely aroma in here. Not petrichor mined, which I guess we need. I can hear a nuthatch over there somewhere. Warning note of. Glorious. Perfect walking weather. Very little breeze. Right temperature. Wonderful. Now you can see from the undulations in the path here that this could be a problem after rain. Look at the footmarks. So the Ouse Valley Way, which is our onward journey, turns left here, but on the other side of this stream, which I believe is down there, I'm going to cross over in that corner, come off the GPX track slightly, so probably adding an extra half mile to the walk, and I'm going up to the Activity Centre Cafe, which was newly opened in 2025. There's still water in this river, stroke stream, so that bodes well for Ardingly, I'd guess. The college over that way on my right. Contrast, this one's dried up. As you can see, the water level is indeed very low. When I was here last time back in the spring, following the winter rainfall, chock-a-block of water. Yeah, it's down to pure mismanagement. They've had 50 years since '76 to get this sorted out, and they haven't. And now, as usual, there'll be a song and dance over the next few weeks about droughts, and then it'll all be forgotten again. As I've said in the past, back in the early days of my videos, it doesn't take a great deal of cost to transfer water from the wetter parts of the western side of the country to the drier parts of the east. Shocking. We seem to lack decent managers in this country in every aspect apart from the city. Those boys seem to be keeping this country running. 1:30, lunch has been had here at this very conveniently placed cafe, Ardingly Activity Centre, which opened up in 2025, so I read. So it isn't in the walk instructions or mentioned in any of the comments. But yeah, highly recommended this. I think the walk should incorporate this because there's no pub on the walk, nor any church. So this is ideal. Yeah. Wonderful. Picnic tables outside. And where I ate my lunch, covered area as well. Starting view of Ardingly Reservoir, and you can see all around that white area is how the water level has dropped. And as I was saying before lunch, to think when I was down here in May it was overflowing. We really do need to sort ourselves out in this country. I mean, I don't understand the point of these reservoirs anyway, because albeit they capture rain, on a hot day it, goes up, evaporates. Far better underground, as we have in Hertfordshire, albeit we have chalk up there, aquifers, but that's a better idea. And of course, off at another tangent, Beckton has a desalination plant. Hasn't even been used during this drought. What is going on with the management of this country? It really is unbelievable. Brand new desalination plant has hardly been used since it was built. Cost the taxpayer a fortune. River Thames flowing next to it. Anyway, let's crack on with the walk. Sun's out, wonderful. So by going the way I have to the cafe, you get a different view of the viaduct that I'll be walking under shortly. This is the London to Brighton main line viaduct. Balcombe Viaduct. Google that for more information. But yeah, cracking picture of it here. So we walk alongside this wood that I was in before lunch. Only adds about, what, half a mile to the walk. But I think the walk should extend out to that cafe. It will be shut for some period this winter, however, for some refurbishment, she tells me. But otherwise open. Built in 1841 apparently. So that's where I was earlier, and the bit of river I've just crossed over that has water in it is the Ouse, of course. So we now continue ahead here on the Ouse Valley Way, Sussex Ouse Valley Way. And of course, in my absence, the harvest was done early, good month early, but with a poor yield, surprisingly. Very small grains. And now, as you can see down here for sure, they've tried to plough it in, but up our way they can't because the ground's too hard and compacted. So this is probably just a scratching of the surface down here. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about winter sown stuff this year. Hopefully they'll do it in the spring, which is better for the birds actually, as I've said in the past. Is a bit more open now, less wooded, and there's a strange sound, gurgling of water. My goodness, that's rare in the current season anyway, but good to hear. Some invasive Himalayan balsam there. Even out here in the middle of nowhere. Gets everywhere, doesn't it? Closer view of it now. Amazing bit of engineering. Wonder if there's any swifts nesting in this one. Big uproar about the one up in the Peak District, where the railway engineers blocked up all the swift nesting holes. I think they were ordered to unblock them before the birds arrived this year. So hopefully they will have done that and there would have been some new ones born, because they are red listed now. Such a shame, they were so commonplace in my youth. One of my favourite birds, the swift. It's quite a popular site, tourist attraction this. Is midsummer, mind you, and although I usually pick the Weald for avoidance of the crowds, there's been quite a few people around on today's walk, and this is quite a remote part of the Weald as well, albeit that I'm on one of the B roads, the busier B roads here. So yeah, this is pretty much how they've had to leave the fields for the time being, because the ground's too hard to plough. Some farmers have tried to scarify the top surface, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to speed up things any. So there's a sign of the times. Certainly wouldn't have existed when the walk was written in 2013. And there goes a train, or a Thameslink train over, and that's something else that the notes refer to. First Capital Connect trains. Shows how out of date the notes are. The walk notes also refer to the fracking incident back in the day, but I don't think that will happen. We just haven't got the water supply to enable it. Brickwork's too tight for swifts anyway, so I don't think they'll be up here. Right, this is the scene under the viaduct. Quite amazing really. Only the Victorians could have done this. We couldn't have done it since. We haven't got the technical skills, I don't think. Wonderful. Yeah, very popular tourist attraction this. Now passing Rylands Farm per the map. Just hear some Gatwick aircraft noise now. Hasn't been too bad today, but just becoming audible. Yeah, more agricultural now, less woodland. Clouded over a bit. Rain was forecast 24 hours ago, but it's changed overnight to dry this afternoon, so I'm reliably informed by the Met. Gate there's a bit narrow. That chain tightens up before you can get through the gate. So because I'm very slim, I was able to sneak through, but most people wouldn't. Might be why the bottom rung's broken. Someone's got fed up with it. And ironically, this is a new footbridge as well. So why didn't they sort out the gate? Passing Bentley's farm, per the map. And I spy a crowd of people ahead of me, confirming what I said earlier about this being a popular walking area now, which surprises me because back in the day I'll have had this all to myself. So even the Weald has become a bit of a hot spot. Yeah, it's actually Great Bentley Farm, per the map. Doesn't look like it's inhabited. Now walking a section that I've previously walked. Bridge. Take this finger post to the left off the lane. Lovely wildflower meadow there with sunflowers in it. Glorious. Views back whence I've come. As I say, clouding over a little bit. Might be some rain this evening. Passing shot of the viaduct in the distance, and consequently whence I've come. Glorious. I would add that this isn't a particularly high walk today either, so another good reason for doing it. I think from memory the maximum height was 355 and we started at 157 or thereabouts, so yeah, very good walk. Field of maize there, and rather surprisingly that's not going to do very well either. Poor yield. It's about 8 or 9 foot high in my locality, but the actual corns are very poor, so they'll probably end up either as biofuel or animal feed, which is why I think they're grown anyway. I think it's the white maize that we eat. So yeah, it's a good way of putting nitrogen into the ground, and a dual purpose crop, so you can't really lose with it, I don't think. Now enter Pilstye Wood with its erridge like green sand rock face, I believe it is. A bit like, yeah, as I say, erridge. Nice mixed woodland this. Stream that's almost empty. Passing Kemp's farm there, per the map. Crossing over the rail line, soon be at Balcombe, which is in that direction. This bridge replaced a foot crossing not so many years back, apparently, per the comments page. That's probably the remnants of it over there. It's on a blind bend, I guess, so that's why they did it. So back at Balcombe, 7.23 miles and 3 hours later, and that was a very decent walk actually. ideal for my return. Nothing too strenuous, but challenging enough. So yeah, and delightful scenery, weather held out, but as per usual, trains are up the chute, as you can see from this one stuck here. Safety track inspection somewhere along the line means that my train at 15:25 is delayed. Really is incredible, as I said earlier today. You cannot do a day out these days without having to worry about the transport, and it should not be like that. There's been a lot of moaning on this video today, but that's because this country's in a dire state. It really is. Getting out of the country is not the answer either. What we need is regime change. As I said earlier, I would have added that extension to the Activity Centre Cafe, making it 7.23 miles today, and that would be a great walk. So that's swcwalk198 completed. Until the next time.